Good morning, everybody. All right, my name is Akojola Komi Joshua, and I'm going to be our pilot for this morning's market review. Right, so hope our week has been an interesting and lovely week. Okay, so we're going to have one this morning. All right, so first thing first, um, I'm going to acknowledge everybody right now that's on with us currently. So starting with Mr. Adetunji Olalekan Said, Anthony Kayode Ayodele Adeleye, Bukola Oni. I can see Bluefield FX, Chinedu, Daniel Egenti, Egosa. I can see Ekpemski, Idris Abdurrahman, Kunle Adeyemi, Muftau Abiodun, Nnamdi Ezuma, Ola Elkana. I can see Olufowokan Bamishe. I can see Patient, Mark Angeline. I can see Philip Amas, Pastor Luke. Yeah, okay, I'm saying Pastor Luke because I'm seeing PST Luke, and that's the short form of Pastor. So Pastor Luke. And I can see Sam Echibe. I can also see okay. I can see Samuel Ayeni, Sojifa Moroti. I can also see Victor Edojo. I can see Wasiu Shobande. I can see Williams Aja, Akiwande Robert. Okay, I know some other people have joined. I can see Alebode Isedu. I can see, okay, Dalinti Ezenwedu. Yes, I can see, I can see Kike following me. Okay, so Mr. please kindly remove yourself from video, please. Thank you. Kindly remove yourself from video. So the video will not, yeah, thank you very much. So it's not going to distort what I'll be doing on the screen. Thank you very much. All right. So let's see. All right, so if I've not mentioned your name, it doesn't mean that I didn't acknowledge you or I don't recognize you. Please, we recognize everybody. Everybody is highly appreciated for joining this morning's market review. All right, so like we all know the way it is, we're going to be looking at the market this morning to see what exactly has been happening. To know what exactly has been happening in the market. And we'll look at how the whole thing panned out from yesterday to today and the whole dream. Okay, so let's start with news, just like start with fundamentals first, after which we now move to technicals to look at what we're expecting the market to do today. And hopefully we hope that the market is going to move fine, so we'll be able to make some one or two profits for ourselves. All right. First thing first, let's look at I'll be sharing my screen so be able to see what is happening or what happened fundamentally yesterday, how the market moved and the likes. Okay, so yes, I'm sharing my screen right away, so I believe everybody is able to see it. Now, before I move on, like we all know, please, just to be very, very sure, you can hear me from your end there. Please kindly go to the chat section and put loud and clear, loud and clear. Please just help me in acknowledging it that you can hear me loud and clear. You understand? So everybody with us on this morning's market review, good morning once again. My name is Joshua. Yes. So please kindly go to the chat section so I'll know you can hear me clearly. Kindly drop it loud and clear. Okay. All right. So I can see from okay, Olufowokan Bamishe saying loud and clear. Epemski is saying loud and clear. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So this is it. If you're unable to hear me from your own end, if you're able to hear me from your own end, it means everything is moving fine. There's no glitch, no issue. But if you're unable to hear me clearly, maybe it's glitching or it's shaky or something, please kindly change your location, switch off your network and on it again, more or less like a reset. You understand? It means there's nothing wrong from my own and everything is fine. So please and please kindly do the needful to hear me loud and clear. Okay, I can see that Bluefield FX, Soji Famoroti and the likes saying they can hear me loud and clear. Victor Edu, yeah, thank you very much. Okay, all right, so I'm going to be sharing my screen now. Let's move into the real deal. Let's start the whole thing. Okay, sharing my screen now. Right. Okay. So I want to believe everybody is able to see or can see my screen from their own end. So let's start from yesterday. Let's start from yesterday. So yesterday at 7:30 a.m. there was news on CHF, that's CPI month to month, and it came out negative for CHF. Then we also had the all-day OPEC JAMC meetings. You know, when we talk about OPEC, it has to do with Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, you understand? Then by 1:30, we also had the unemployment claims coming, and it was good for the US, saying that for those that claim to be, the number of people claiming to be unemployed is lesser than the forecast, you understand? And by 2:45, we had the final service and PMI to also coming out, came out neutral. But 3 p.m., we had the ISM service PMI, and it came out negative, saying that it was bad for the USD. And yes, if you look at it yesterday, as of yesterday, there was reaction on the USD. You understand? In fact, let's see. Day before yesterday, we had the president of the US speaking by 9 p.m. And the speech he gave actually affected the US dollars. You understand? The speech was more of a negative statement. So yeah, it means it was bad for that currency. And yesterday we also had some news coming out. And yes, for this main news by 3 p.m., the ISM service PMI came out negative and it also affected it. And that's why you discover an instrument like USD JPY, USD CHF, we had a massive sell. A massive sell, price dropped. And on instrument like gold, in fact, gold got up to as high as 3,100 plus. You understand? At that point, because the statement was negative and the likes, it affected it affected the currency. And yeah, funny enough, even on stocks, we had a instrument like US 2000, US 100, they all sold. It sold massively. There was a massive. Sorry. So yes, we had a negative move. It affected the whole movement in the market. You understand? There was more of a bearish movement on instrument like that, USD, CHS, and the likes. You understand? We're going to be looking at it, and we had instrument like Euro USD pushing up. You understand? Pushed up and everything. But well, this morning, let's look at it. Okay, let me see the currency strength meter. Let's see what it's saying. Currency strength meter. Let's look at it. Let's see what it's saying. Okay. Nope. Not this. I'm coming. Currency. I'm still with us. Okay. Now, if you look at it, even as of this morning, you can see it's showing the USD and it's showing that yes, the USD is dropping in strength. NZD is weak. In fact, fully weak. JPY is strong and it's where it is. GBP is also dropping in strength. Euros is dropping in strength. CHF has been the strongest of them all. CAD is also strong around let's say 70%, while we have euros, JPY and USD around 80%, but still showing the sign that it is dropping with the red arrow on it as an indication. And GBP is around 60%. And in terms of AUD and NZD are actually the weakest of them all as of now. You understand? And yes, we actually discovered even in the chart. By the time we look at the chart, we discover that yes, the market is also respecting that line. But first thing first, let's look at all the reactions on some of this news as of yesterday and day before yesterday. So I'll be sharing my chart now. We'll go to my chart and we'll see where it is before we now look at what is coming up for today. Okay, so let's see what is happening on these instruments. Okay, so yes, this is it. As of yesterday, maybe before yesterday and the likes, you discover that after the statement of President Donald Trump, okay, so look at it. This was it. this actually happened day before yesterday, because he gave his speech around 9. You understand? So around 9 was when he started the whole thing, and by 10, look at what happened. There was a massive push on this price. Then after that, by yesterday, the price started going up on Euro USD. So it means Euro gained strength while dollars was weak. It dropped. You understand? There was no strength on dollars as of yesterday. And almost I would say almost throughout yesterday, price was more of a bullish trend on the Euro USD, more of a bullish trend. In fact, look at it even on the D1, you see it on the daily time frame. Look at the long candle, the way it went up to this high. You understand? Let's look at instrument like USD CHF. So we'll see that too. USD CHF, USD JPY. Also look at USD CAD. You understand? Let's see if you're able to see that. Okay, fine. So let's just look at it and see how the whole thing affected the market. So USD CHF, we're looking at USD CHF now. So we'll see. So on USD CHF, look at it. There was a massive drop. In fact, made it look, the price was actually ranging at a point. You understand? Before that time, price ranged, you understand. But after the whole drill, price just began to drop. And it dropped massively yesterday. Look at it. It dropped massively yesterday. And even up to this morning, it's still more of that bearish move. But let's see what is going to happen today. Is price still going to move in that line or not? You understand? That's going to determine. Let's look at USD JPY. Let's look at JPY and see what happened to. Okay, we tell us on that. Now on USD JPY, we also had the same move. You understand? Price dropped. You understand? It means whatever the statement, the speech President Donald Trump made actually affected the currency, and it was massive. It was a massive drop on all these instruments. There was a massive drop on all of them. You understand? All dropping down, showing that it was the currency is weak. You understand? The statement that was made actually affected them negatively. USD CAD had the same reactions to dropping. But let's look at indices. Let's see what happened on indices, and we also look at some of these instruments too, like gold, commodity instrument like gold, to know what exactly happened on gold. Okay, this is one. Let's look at oil. Then we'll look at instrument like US 100, look at US 2000 and see what exactly happened on that instrument when the news was released. Okay. Okay. Still with us? All right. This is it. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to pick it up from gold first. So on gold, look at it. Now on gold, let's look at what it did. Look at the way priced. You see, price dropped. In fact, but before then, look at it. This is it. Before then, day before yesterday, price went as high as this point. Immediately he started speaking, and after the whole thing, price moved up. It got to as high as 3,167.55. You understand? So price of gold went to that new high before it now dropped yesterday to this low, and now we are having this reaction. But wait, we'll still get there when we're doing the technicals. Let's hold on. Okay, come in. Hello, sorry for that network glitch. Okay, so I'm back. All right, so let's look at the next instrument again. So you see, gold went up, and after that, yesterday again, it dropped. You understand? It dropped down before it now pulled back a little. And as of this morning, we'll see where price is most likely going to go when we start talking technically. So, you know, one of the interesting thing is we both fundamentals and technical, they work hand in hand, you understand? And we won't say because we expect the market to move technically, we're going to overlook fundamentals, you understand? All right, so let's look at other instruments again. Let's look at oil. Let's look at oil and see what oil did. Let's look at oil. Okay, now look at oil. Look at where it dropped. It dropped massively. Oil dropped massively. All the whole speech, everything, oil dropped massively. That's dropped to as low as even 68.72. You understand? Oil dropped. Then we also have US 100. Let's look at US 100 and see the reaction to on US 100. US 100 price dropped as of yesterday too. Then on US 2000, is it the same thing? Okay, did the same thing. On indices, it all did the same thing, all dropped. Just a massive, a little pull up to the, went a little bit bullish. Then after that, a massive drop, even gapped down, did a cover up back, then continued that bearish movement. You understand? So we'll see what price will most likely do. We're going to see what price will most likely do, but let's hold on and see. Then as of today, what are we having today? Let's look at it. As of this morning, are we having any important news coming out today? Yes. Yes, we have some important news coming out today, and that's where we have the likes of Canadian dollars, the employment change and the unemployment rate, and we also have the the NFP coming out today, the average hourly earning month to month, non-farm employment change, and the unemployment rate. After which, by 4:25, we'll have the Fed Chairman Powell speaking, and that's also a speech. Although a speech is not going, you can't measure the strength of a speech, but the only thing is how do you trade it? You trade it by once you start seeing the reaction, you see the market moving with volatility around that moment. Either it goes up or it goes down. If it's pushing up, you buy. If it's pushing down, you sell. Then by 5:45, we have the FOMC member Wallace speaking. Okay, so that's pretty much what we have for this today in terms of news. You understand? This is pretty much all we have for news for today. But let's look at what is going to happen in the market technically. Let's look at it. What's going to happen in the market technically? Okay, let's start. And like we all know, we start with currencies first. Now, once we're done with currencies, then we move to technicals. Then from technicals, if you have any question or you have instrument you want us to look at, then we'll look at it and see. We'll try to analyze to see what exactly is going to happen. Is it going to buy? Is it going to sell? We just look at it based on the zone where price is most likely resting on. You understand? Okay, that's that. All right, so let's start with Euro USD. Yes, we'll start with Euro USD. Okay, with us. All right. Okay. Sorry for that network glitch. Okay, I'm back again. So, okay. So we're looking at Euro USD. Euro USD. So looking at it from the daily time frame, you discover the price of Euro USD has actually gone up. So this is the main deal. If you're looking at it from the higher time frame, that okay, what are you expecting price to do? Basically, if we are to expect price to go up, if we're expecting price to go up, let's wait for it to break above this particular zone where it is. If it's able to break above this zone successfully, then we can go for a buy. Okay, we can go for a buy. This is on daily time frame. Coming, this is on daily time frame. Okay, let's see. For those that are long-term traders, if you're able to wait and you discover the price is able to break above this part, you understand, successfully, then you can go for your buy. If it breaks above this zone, this shaded part, if it's able to close above it, then we can go for that buy. But if not that, let's hold on, because price could actually reject from this particular zone where it is. If you zoom out, let's look at it. All the times that price, okay, got there, it came down a little, went back, did this, got back to that same point, and it got reversed back. So yes, if price is able to break above it successfully, can you see, even at some way back, you discover that yes, around this point now there's still a zone. So if price is able to break about this point successfully, then we should expect price to do what? Push to the upside. But if that does not happen, then we can expect price coming down. This is on daily time frame, you understand? This is on daily time frame. But let's look at it from the lower time frame, like yeah, from our 1 hour time frame, and let's see. Okay, so based on what we're seeing on 1 hour time frame now, there are two new zones that has been formed on this part, which is point one is at this point. This is point one. Okay, this is 1 point here. And point two is this point. This is where we have the second zone. Based on what we're seeing on 1 hour now, this is our second zone. So we're expecting price, either price gets back to this point and gets rejected back to the upside and breaks above, or it breaks below, then continues the bearish movement. But I, for one, like you've all known for a very long time now, I've been more of the opinion that Euro USD is going to go up. You understand? It's going to go up. So, but let's wait and see, because today, yes, we have some volatile news coming out, and due to that, we all know news is a respecter of no zone. It can break the zone and start a new movement. You understand? It could break the zone and start a new movement. So yes, let's wait and see on that. As far as price is unable to break below this particular section, we're expecting it to reverse back up. You understand? But as of now, you can see that price is a little bit stiff, is a little bit slow. And I would say maybe part of the reason is because of the news that is coming out on USD. That's why, you understand, there was a massive push on price as of yesterday. So we could have that movement being maybe could be part of the reason why price is a little bit stiff this morning. But let's wait and see. If price is able to go down to this point and it breaks below this point, then we could expect price to come back down to this particular zone here. Around this point, we could expect price to come back to around this particular zone, or it could be around here. Price could stop around that point. But let's wait and see. Okay, that's that on Euro USD. Then let's go to USD CAD and see what is happening on USD CAD. And we can see that on USD CAD, price got to a demand zone. This is on my 1 hour time frame. Price got to this demand zone, and after that, it's been rejected. You understand? Look at it here. Price actually got to this demand zone here, and after that, price got rejected. It's been pushing back to the upside, even around this point. Try to pull back a little now to this point, and there's a little zone around here. If price is able to break above this part now, we could have a continuation of a bullish movement. You understand? So if price is able to break above this particular section successfully, if price is able to break above this section successfully, then we should expect a continuation of that bullish movement. But if that does not happen, we need to hold on. We need to what? Wait. This is on the 1 hour time frame. But if you're looking at it from the daily time frame, can you see what price is doing? Yes, around where price got rejected is a zone. This is it. Look at around this side, there's a zone around this point here. Looking at it successfully, yes. Price here, because you can see when it got to this particular point, around this point used to be a resistance, got broken and became a support. And since then, price has been trying to break below it, even did this whole thing and reversed back up. Now the same thing. So you can see price rested on this point, now it's reversing back. This is even on a daily time frame. So what are we expecting? Should we expect price to push up? All right, yes, we're expecting price to push up. And if you look at it based on the part that is being shaded here on the daily time frame, let me zoom it. Yes, based on what we're seeing here that is being shaded, you discover that around that same point, based on past action, price got rejected around that point. This is it. Let's see. If you're able to see it, yeah, can you see? Around that point, price got rejected. So if price is being rejected around this point, if price able, which means if price is able to break above this zone, then we expect price to push up. We expect price to what? Push up, to go to the upside, you understand? But until that, let's hold on. Let's see what price wants to do. Okay, so that's that on USD card. Let's look at USD CHF. Let's look at USD CHF and see what is happening there. USD CHF, right. USD CHF also had the same bearish move, a strong bearish move yesterday. Price went down. It's been more of a massive movement, and the sell was so sharp, pulled down, so sharp. So yes, price got to this particular demand zone here. Yes, price got to this demand zone. And on getting to this demand zone now, got rejected, you understand? And it's trying to retest that point. But let's look at it. And as of this morning, we all know CHF is actually the strongest based on what we're seeing on currency strength meter. And before then, looking at what we're seeing here on USD CHF on 1 hour time frame, look at it, based on what we're seeing on 1 hour time frame, price has actually been dropping with style, even though it's been more of a cool, calm, bearish movement. You see, around this point, it did something as double top around on the 1 hour time frame. Something around double top was done here, and after that, it's been dropping, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and that's what we're seeing here now. Down before this point, then price now ranged a little, and you see, whenever we talk about a ranging market, we say a ranging market has to do what? It's a correction zone. Now look at it. After that, it broke below it and the massive movement. Now, the truth is that we say in a ranging market between two zones, between the demand and supply zone, what we need to do is to hold on for price to break out of any of those directions. Is it going to break to the upside or the downside, which is a bearish move? Whichever direction it breaks to, with what we follow, and that's what they did. This is on our 1 hour time frame, you understand? So basically where price is now is a demand zone. Let's hold on and see. We should not rush into it because we're expecting price to give us a direction. If it doesn't give us any direction, we're not to do anything. So let's hold on for price to either break below this particular zone. If it breaks below this zone successfully and it closes below it, then we can go for that sell. But if that does not happen, we need to wait. We need to wait. If price to still get to this same point, because if you look at it in terms of currencies respect the zones more than any other instrument. So if price gets rejected around this point, this same zone, then we could have price reversing back to the upside. So that's that on USD CHF. That's that on USD CHF. Okay. Let's look at another instrument. Let's look at another instrument. Let's look at USD JPY. USD JPY. After that, we'll now go and look at GBP USD. We'll look at GBP USD after that, okay? Okay. All right, let's move on. USD JPY. Now, currently, can you see, based on what we are seeing on USD JPY, price dropped to this point, and on dropping to this point, came down, went back up, got rejected, dropped to that same zone again, price got rejected and is versing back. But based on what we are seeing, it's been more of just 2 points, within 2 points now, between these 2 points. So yes, price has just been dangling between these 2 points. So let's wait and see. Is it going to break above this part or is coming below this part? If it's able to break above this section successfully, then we'll go for what? Our buy. We'll go for our buy if it breaks above this particular zone successfully. If it breaks above it, then we'll go for our buy. If not, if it still remains in that same box, we could have it coming back down to this point. And around this point, if it doesn't break below this point successfully, then we should go for a buy. If it does not break below it, that's what I mean, you understand? But if it breaks below it successfully, then we could have price going down. We could have price going down. If it's able to break below it successfully, we could have price going down. That's that. Okay. So let's hold on and see what price is most likely going to do between these 2 points. So that's that on USD JPY. Let's look at GBP USD. GBP USD. Okay. with us. Okay, so GBP USD, look at it. Showed that price went up yesterday. In fact, look at it. Price went up yesterday. In fact, it started from day before yesterday, been pushing up, and got to this particular high. After which it got rejected. Around this point, price got rejected. It started dropping. So when it got to this high, yes. It couldn't go above that. It dropped to around this point. You see, had a little drag with price. Price struggled around this point before it now broke it successfully, then came down, ranged again around this point. Can you see? There was more of a ranging movement around this point, these 2 points, before it now broke below it. You understand? And currently, where price is also a zone. So, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for price to break below this part. If it's able to break below this part successfully, then we should expect price to what? To sell. But if that does not happen, so let me just give it this fair movement. If it does not happen, if it's unable to break below this part, then we are not expecting it to sell. You understand? We could have price struggling around this point. But yes, if it's able to break below this part successfully, I'm expecting price to what? To sell. Expecting price to sell, to come down successfully. So let's wait and see what price is going to do. Is it going to break below it? If it breaks below it, then we should expect price to drop. You understand? And based on what we're seeing on GBP daily time frame, look at it, it has dropped for a while to this point. It got rejected around this point. Then after that, it's been going up, going up. So it could just be a minor pullback before it now reverses back to the upside. So we could have price pull back to this point or even below around to this point before it now rejects back to the upside. You understand? For the bullish movement based on what we are seeing. So yes, are we expecting price to drop? As of now, yes, we're expecting it to just drop. You understand? Based on what we're seeing on 1 hour, we're expecting it to drop. But if it's unable to break below this part, then we should expect price to reverse back up. But if that does not happen, if it closes below here, then we should expect price to what? To sell. Okay, so that's that on GBP USD. So we're going to be looking at commodity instruments now. We'll look at one or two, then we'll move to indices, after which we have the opportunity of dropping our own instrument for us to look at. Okay. So first thing first, we'll be looking at gold. We'll be looking at gold. Let's look at gold. Gold. Okay. So like we all know, I have my own bias when it comes to gold too. And my own bias is I'm expecting the price of gold to get to 3,005. Actually don't know when it's going to get there. But yes, I'm expecting it to get to 3,005. Just like I envisaged that it was going to get to 3,000 and got to 3,000. Now I'm expecting that it's going to get to 3,005. That once it gets to 3,005, then maybe price will now relax and start doing some other kind of movement that we might not know yet, or we don't know yet. But currently, what is price doing? Price has been pushing up, and yes, Donald Trump gave his own speech and the likes, and so we got high to as 1,170 something dollar per. Yeah, this is it. 3,167.34. You understand? Okay. So now price has got rejected around that point, dropped back a little bit. Now, the same thing we're saying, I'm still expecting the price of gold to move up. If I'm to look at it technically based on what we're saying, at most there's a zone around where price is now. There's a demand zone around this point. And I'm expecting price to get rejected around that point. But if price is unable to break below this point now, it should what? Reverse back to the upside. But once price is able to break below it, it could get back to this side, after which it gains momentum to the upside. You understand? But currently, what I'm saying is, based on my own opinion, I expect price to still push up on gold. I'm expecting that bullish movement on gold. Around this point, no. I'm expecting price to get rejected around this point. But if price I don't expect it to break below. I am looking for a bullish movement on gold. That's my own bias when it comes to gold. I'm looking for a bullish movement, just a little bit of a bearish movement. Then after that, more bullish. And if you look at it based on history that we are seeing here, price has actually been more of what? Bullish, 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 bullish. Yeah. All right, so that's what it is on gold, expecting the price of gold to just move up. But currently, please also respect those zones. Let's respect the zones too. If you see that price is currently at a particular zone, resting at a particular zone, please let's hold on. Don't just rush into this market technically or fundamental. Don't rush into it. One of the things we need to learn to do when it comes to trading this market is learn how to look and see. If you look at it and you're not seeing anything, please stay away. But if you're able to see something and it's convincing enough, then go for it. That's the way it is in this market. You understand? So for gold, if it's unable to break below this part, let me just shade it out for us to see. If it's unable to break below this part successfully, then we could go for our buy. But once it breaks below it, we could have price moving further down. You understand? That's that on gold. That's my take on gold. Okay, so let's go to oils. Let's go to oils. Let's look at oils. Let's see what oil is doing. Okay. All right. We're on oils now. This is oils. Let's see what oils is saying. Based on what we're seeing on daily time frame, zoom out. So if you look at it based on daily time frame, since it got to this high, it's been dropping little by little. In fact, based on what we're seeing on this trend, I'm still expecting oil to drop. But if oil is going to drop, something must happen. And what is that? It must break below this particular point where it is. It must break below this point successfully. If it goes below this point successfully, then we should expect the price of oil to drop. But if that does not happen, I'm not expecting it to drop on oil. If it doesn't break below this point successfully, yes, we should expect the price of oil to break below this point. If it breaks below this point successfully, then price should drop. And look at it based on what we are seeing on the trend. If you pick it from either one of this side, you discover that price has actually been dropping. It's been dropping slow and steady, and it's been respecting that trend. So yes, if price of oil should drop below this point, then we should expect price to what? To sell. We should expect it to sell. This is on daily time frame. This is on daily time frame. So yes, I'm expecting the price of oil to still what? To still go down. I'm expecting a sell. So I'm expecting the price to go down, down, down. But let's hold on for it to break below this part. There's a zone around this point. If it's able to break below this zone successfully, then good and fine. Price is going to sell. That's that on daily time frame. Okay, that's that on daily time frame. Now on the 1 hour time frame, okay. So on the 1 hour time frame, look at what they did. Came down to this point, have a little pull up. Now price is dropping. Even though this price is too sharp for that dropping, based on what we are seeing, because of the way how sharp it is, I'm expecting price to pull back a little. I'm expecting price to pull back a little. And after that pull up, it could continue their bearish movement. Yeah. So one of the things I want us to understand is this, irrespective of the trend of the market, even if the trend is bearish, you understand? In between that bearish movement, you could still have a bullish move. You understand? A little pullback. That's when we talk about pullbacks. You understand? You say it is bullish, you can have the price is pulling up. You understand? It's bullish. You could still have price dropping in strength. You understand? A little bit of sell. But now, as of this point, this movement is a sharp movement. So I'm expecting price to pull up a little bit. You understand? Just because of this sharp movement, I'm expecting it to pull up a little bit. After which the continuation of a bearish move. Well, that's that on oil for me. That's that on oil for me. Let's look at US 30. Let's look at US 30. Okay, US 30. All right. So this is it on US 30. Price actually dropped. You understand? Even gapped down. Then since then, it's been dropping, and has gotten to this particular demand zone. But let's look at it on daily time frame. What is it doing? Yes, let's zoom out and see. So based on what we saw, price has been moving up on US 30. Then it got to this point, got rejected. Yeah, around this point, it did something like it did it. If I think around this point, it did almost more than one double top or something. Let's see. Oh yeah, he did this double top successfully, you understand? So came down. So are we still expecting price to go down? Uh yes, we might still expect price to go down if he's able to break below this particular point. If price is able to break below this zone successfully, then we could expect price to what? To go down. But if that does not happen, we could have price reversing back to the upside. Okay, so Mr. Victor Abacheloni, please remove yourself from video. Please disable that video. Thank you. Okay. So yes, if price is able to break below this part successfully, then we could have price the continuation of a sell on US 30. But if that does not happen, we could have a reversal back to the upside. You understand? That's that on US 30. Yes, that's that on US 30. So let's look at US 100. Let's look at US 100. What's happening on US 100? Okay. So on US 100 too, okay, US 100 daily time frame. So based on what we're seeing, can you see price moved up for a while? In fact, price have more of a bullish move than bearish, you understand? So what are we expecting now? Are we expecting that price is going to go up or it's going to drop? So, well, one of the things that is happening is due to the trade war going on between US and China and Canada, all those tariff things, is that, well, some of those decisions, the trade war has actually affected the stocks in the US stocks and the likes, you understand? So it's been one of the major reasons why stocks has actually been dropping. Yes, one of the major reasons why stocks has been dropping, though well, based on what we're saying, technically now we should just look at it like if price is able to break below this path successfully, we should have price dropping. But if that does not happen, we could have a reversal bar to the upside. Yes. So on US 100, what's my take? I'm saying my opinion is this, even though this is on daily time frame, if price is able to break below this path successfully, then we could have a bearish movement. But if that does not happen, it could reverse back to the upside. But let's look at price on 1 hour time frame. Let's see what is happening. So on 1 hour time frame, we are having that bearish move. So are we still expecting the same decision on 1 hour time frame? Based on what we are seeing, yes, if price is able to go below this particular zone where it is, because currently where it is also a demand zone, but we could discover that here price pulled back up a little. So is it going to continue in that line? Let's watch. That could also change decision and direction of this market. You understand? It could change the decision and direction of the market. Yes, we might be seeing some certain things separately now because the market is yet to kick off. But once that market kicks off, we could have a different move. You understand? So that's for that anyway. So let's look at US 500. Okay, US 500. So basically, based on what we're seeing on US 500 daily time frame now, price pushed up and has pulled back a little. So what are we expecting? Are we expecting price to continue that movement? Yes, we're going to look at it from both sides. Is price going to break below this zone? If price is able to break below this zone, then yes, we should expect a bearish move. But if that does not happen, then we could have a continuation of a bullish move that's around this point. Once price gets rejected at this zone, then we could have a bullish movement taking over. You understand? But if that does not happen, then we could expect price coming back down. The major thing there is between this zone. Is price going to break below this zone or is going to go above it? If it doesn't happen like that, then all right. Oh, sorry for the network glitch. Sorry for the network glitch. Thank you. All right, so let's move to US 2000, US 2000, US 2000. Yes, we're on US 2000 now. And basically, we'll see that, yes, for a while, price has actually dropped. Even on 1 hour time frame, price has been dropping for a while now. Then let's look at it on daily time frame. We've had it going up, coming down, going up, coming down. And yeah, it's been more of just around these 2 points. Okay, let's see. Is it going to pick it that way? So yes, 1, 2, and price dropped. So it did something like double top here and dropped. Yes, so it means price were expected these two zones. Are we expecting it to drop? So now this is what we're going to say. If price is able to break below this particular section here, we should expect price could drop back to around this point. Then around this point, we could have price gaining strength back to the upside. This is on daily time frame. So let's wait and see. Is price going to break below this part? If price should break below this point, then we should expect price to keep on dropping down to this section. But if that does not happen, we could have a reversal back to the upside. So that's that on all the instruments for now. So I'm going to be looking at our chart section. You want me to look at any instrument for you? Just kindly drop it there. You understand? Once we still have some 11 minutes to let's say 10 minutes and some seconds to 9. You understand? So let's see what is going to happen. Let's see what is going to happen before then. So yes, I'm going to be looking at the chart section now for all the instruments. So if I can see any of the instruments that I've spoken about, I'll hold on that first. Go to all the instruments that I've not talked about before. We go back to that. So, okay, so Mr. Okay, I can see Olufo Okabamishi saying you should look at GBP JPY, Euro JPY. All right, so we'll look at it. GBP JPY, Euro JPY. So yes, GBP JPY. After which we'll go to Euro JPY. With us. Okay. So GBP JPY, let's look at what price is saying there. GBP JPY. So on GBP JPY, currently price is dropping. This is on 1 hour time frame. Yes, right? Yeah, GBP JPY. And let's look at it. It's been so interesting and funny. Yes. So it got up to this point, pulled back down, price reversed back to this top here. And you see price reversing back to this top. Around that point, there's a zone. You understand? Close to that point, in fact, runs back to this point. Yes, got rejected, came back down, price testing those patterns. You discover that it's been more of a slight trend around this point. You understand? And now price is dropping. If we are to look at it based on the trend that we are seeing here, even though it's not too sharp. Okay, let's see. If I'm picking it from this side, it's actually not too sharp. You understand? Because at a point from here to here, you can see that price broke it a little bit and it's been moving in that line. Okay, let's see. Okay, come in. I will see it. Price broke it a little bit around this point. And since then, price came back down, broke it down, got entangled around this point, reversed back, respected this zone, and it's been up within this part. Now it's coming down. Is it coming to this point? So let's look at it that around this point, around this section here, around this section here, we could expect a reversal because based on what we're seeing, price has actually respected this trend. So unless price breaks below this particular session, we're still expecting it that once it gets to this point, we're expecting price to do what? Push back, a reversal back to the upside. That's what we should expect. So I'm expecting price to push back to the upside on GBP, JPY once it gets to this point. As far as it's unable to break this zone, we should expect it to push up. That's that on GBP JPY. So Euro JPY, let's see. Euro JPY. So looking at Euro JPY now, there was this massive drop here. Yes, there was a massive drop on Euro JPY, gapped down, then covered for that gap, after which it came back. Now the whole deal is here. You discover that this point is the strong zone. In fact, let me make it tight. Okay. So you discovered all this other one. Incoming. So yes, price has actually not broken this particular point, and you can see price got close to this point. Now the main deal is this: is price going to break below it? Is price, if price is able to break below this particular zone where it is, yes, I'm expecting it to go down, because it's more or less like price is just dancing around this point. This is on 1 hour time frame. Price is just dancing around this point. It's not really giving us any of those strong moves. Can you see? It's just been dancing around this point. So is price going to break below it? That's what we don't know. If price should break below it, then yes, we should expect price to drop. If that does not happen, we could expect price to go back up. So let's hold on and see. Is price going to break below it? If it breaks below it, then you know the drill. Sell. But if that does not happen, don't. Wait and see what price wants to do. That's that. Okay. So yes, okay. Let's look at DE40. DE40. Okay. Let's look at DE40. Which was DE40 it is. DE40, yes. So if you look at DE40, even on our 1 hour time frame, you discover that price has actually been dropping, even gapped down at a point. Now, can you see? From this point, it gapped down. Then it came, reversed back a little, even though it didn't cover for the gap fully, came back down. And as of this morning, currently, based on what we're seeing, it's showing us that strong bearish move on DE40. It's showing us that strong bearish move on DE40. So based on what we are seeing now, let's see. Based on what we are seeing now, I think price is trying, I feel price is trying to get to this point. That's my own bias, but it doesn't mean it must get to that point, because even where it is currently is a zone currently. But if price could actually push below this point, you understand? So what is going to determine is once it's 9, you understand? Once this particular candle that is forming the candle 0 now, that is forming closes, if he's able to push down below the particular point where it is, we could have a continuation of that bearish move. We could have a continuation of that bearish move. So let's wait and see what it's going to do. It's going to continue in that line or wait. But yes, based on my own bias, I'm expecting price to still drop on DE40. I'm still expecting price to drop on DE40. That's my take on DE40. A bearish move. Okay, so let's look at another instrument. Okay. All right, let's look at wheat. Let's look at wheat. We're looking at wheat now. Okay, so we're looking at wheat now. Basically, if you look at wheat, you discover that price of wheat has actually dropped for a while, after which is just been giving us that little, it pulled up a little bit, then now it's trying to drop back. I'm expecting price of wheat to drop. If I even has this gap in to cover, so I'm expecting it to drop back to this point or even below. That's my take. On wheat, I'm expecting the price to drop. I'm expecting it to drop. Either it drops to that point or it could drop back to this point. Even before this point, we could have a rejection. But the main deal is expected to cover for this. So wheat, I'm expecting it to drop. I'm expecting a bearish move on wheat. I'm expecting the price to go low on wheat. That's my take on wheat, bearish move. So I'm going to look at one more instrument, just one more instrument. So let's look at, let me look at the chart and see. Yes, I have one more instrument. Which instrument is that? That is Euro AUD. Okay, let's look at Euro AUD. Fine. That's the last instrument for today. Then we'll call it a day. Euro AUD. I'm with us, Euro AUD. Okay. So looking at Euro AUD. As of this morning, we know that AUD is actually the weakest based on what we're seeing on currency strength meter. Let me show us again, except if there's any new development on that. Let's see. Based on what we're seeing on currency strength meter, Euro AUD. Yes, Euro AUD, like I said, together with NZD, they've been the weakest. Can you see? They're their lowest form as of this morning. So based on what we're seeing, on Euro AUD, it has gotten to this particular high and price is trying to pull back. Well, basically, let me look at it on a higher time frame. What has price been doing from a higher time frame? If you look at it on a higher time frame, based on what we're seeing, price is pushing up. Yes, at a point it pulled up, came back down, and the likes. Now it's trying to go back to that same upside. So based on what we're seeing currently, we should wait. Don't rush into it. Let's hold on for price to break above this part. If it breaks above the part successfully, then we could have that continuation in bullish move. But if that does not happen, then we could have issues. So let's hold on for it. Is it going to go above this section and close above it? If that happens, then we could be looking for our buy. But if it doesn't happen, then we could have a reversal back to the downside. That's that on Euro AUD. So thank you very much for joining today's morning market review. Mr. Chinedu, I can see Chinedu, Chris Ochie, Christian Clement Pereira, Ebogbe James, Daniel Legendi, Davis Benebo, Christopher Lolo, Edwin Badi. I can see Egosa. I can see Manuel Abiodun, Eniofok Enyang. I can see Francis Yu, Idris Abdurrahman, Ife Oluwaṣe, Ifeoma Okay, Infinix S6516, Innocent. I can see Issa Sadiq, Jacob Oladimiji, Juliet Davis, Jukrom, Joshua Okon, Johnson Benjamin, Kalu, King Scream, Kenny Muide. All right, everybody, I'm saying thank you very much for joining this morning's market review. Until next week, another time. And please do not forget that today is a Friday and the market closes by 10. So by 8 p.m., everybody, as far as you know, you don't have a good sum in your accounts to hold you for that long term, please make sure you take yourself out of that market. It's better you close in a little negative than you lose your account and you're not able to recover. You understand? So rather than that, let's just try and see. And hopefully, yes, we're able to do more, better things. You understand? Bye for now. Thank you.